Hi, this is a sample mock paper from Latymer Upper. I'm going to make a couple of videos on this paper, and this is the first one. I would suggest that you download the paper, have a go of it, and then come back and look at my video. So question one, what number is 23 less than 70,000? So we could go 70,000, subtract 23 is one strategy. Another strategy, however, would be to look at the answers. And immediately, if you think 23 from 70, estimate the answer. Or you might know it straight away. But it's definitely not 47,000. It's too low. It's not 50,003. It's too low. If I go to A, 67,700, again, it's too low. Now, looking at these, which of these numbers, if I add 23 onto, will give me 70,000? Is it going to be 69,987? Or is it going to be 69,977? Well, it's going to be this one here, isn't it? If you add 23 onto even 77, you can see it brings the answer into the zeros at the end. So it's going to be this answer. Let's have a look at number 2. Multiply 304 by 12. Again, one way of doing it is 304 by 12. We've got two fours are 8, two nuts are nothing, two threes are 6, put down my 0. 1 4 is 4, 1 0 0, 1 3 is 3. And my answer here is 3,648. 3,648. Now, is there a quicker way of doing it, or a different strategy? Yes, there is. And that's the important thing about doing these, is to look at different strategies. So 304 times 12, well, if I do 304 times 10, I know it's going to be 3,040. Now, if I do 304 times 2, it's going to be 608. And immediately I can see if I add these together, it's going to be 3,648. So this one here might be a better option for you to a better strategy for you to use, because it might be quicker. Looking at number 3, the problem with number 3 is more the wording, is to understand the wording. So I think of a number. When I subtract it from 24, what's it? It is my number. So let's say my number is X. I don't know what my number is. I think of a number. When I subtract it from 24, the answer is the same as when I double it. Double what? Double my number. Let's write that so it makes more sense. I think of a number. I'm going to pretend my number, as I said, is X. When I subtract it from 24, the answer, so this is the answer here, is the same as when I double it. Okay, so the answer here should be the same as when I double X, when I double my number. Let's try each of these numbers to see how it works out. So I'm going to replace 12. I'm going to put 12 in instead of X. 24 subtract 12 equals 12. If I double 12, do I get 12? No, I certainly don't. Okay, have a look at the next one, 10. I'm going to put 10 here. 24 subtract 10 is 14. If I double 10, do I get 14? Nope, definitely not. So that is not an option. My next option could be 8. 24 subtract 8 is 16. Oh, look what we have here. If I double my answer, if I double my number, I get my answer. Okay, so the answer is 8. Let's have a look at number 4. What remainder do you get when you divide? Oops, it's gone far ahead here. What number? Where's my pen? My pen is after disappearing here now. and I'm trying to get it back. So if you just, yes, here it is. Okay. So what remainder do you get when you divide 283 by 9? So let's just do it the simple way. 283 divided by 9. 9 into 28 goes 3 times and 1 over. 9 into 13 goes once and 4 over. So, but what somebody might do if they're in a rush, they might write in the answer here is 31, remainder 4, but it's not. What is the question? What remainder do you get when you divide 283 by 9? So the answer is 4 because my remainder is 4. So that should be the answer. Having a look at the next one, what is 842? Subtract 658. So you could do it like this using the cutting method, 658, and get your answer. Or you could go, okay, 658. And what's the difference between that and 842? Well, 658, let's bring it up to 700. And the difference between 658 and 700 is 42. The difference between 700 and 842 is 142. 142. Add these together, I've got 184, which you would get if you subtracted this from this. So do we have 184 here? Yes, absolutely. Let's go on to number 6. So I'm just going to do 10 today. So Bob makes a sequence, good old Bob, using the following rule. So let's have a look at the rule. The rule is double and subtract 3. So double is times 2 and subtract 3. So I have to double something by 2 and then take away 3. If the first number in the sequence is 5, what will the fifth number be? Let's find out. So this is the first number, second, third, fourth, fifth. So 5. Now what we're going to do with this number, we're going to multiply, double it, and take away 3. So which will be 7. Double 7, 14, take away 3, 11. Double 11, take away 3, 19. Double 19, take away 3 is 35. So the answer is 35. Excuse me. Looking at the next one here, what digit should replace the asterisk below? Now, some people might see this 2 here and they might go, oh, it has to be 7. But is it 7? Let's have a look. It can't be that easy. 9 subtract 1 is 8, yes. 3 subtract 6 is not 7, but I do know that 13 subtract 6 is 7. So I'm going to put a 1 there to make it 13. Now, where did I get that 1 from? I got it from over here. I had a number and I took 1 from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what takeaway 2 is 5. Well, 7 takeaway 2 is 5. But then I need to put this 1 back. So it's going to be 8. But let's see if that works out. Excuse me again. 9 take away 1 is 8. 3 take away 6 I cannot do. Well, 3 I can do, but not in this case. 3 take away 6, I go next door. I'm going to take 1 from 8, and the 8 becomes a 7. 7 take away 2 is 5. So initially, my number is 8. 8 goes in there, which is A. Looking at number 8. 2/3 of a number is 66. What's the number? So 2/3 of a number equals 66. What is my number? Excuse me. So if 2/3 of a number is 66, that means 2/3 equals 66. I want to get the whole number. So my whole number as a fraction would therefore be equal to 3/3. So I need to get 3/3. But if 2/3 is 66, what's a 1/3? 1/3 would be 66 divided by 2, which is 22. What's 3/3? My full number. To multiply 22 by 3. Um, Hold on, go back, go back, go back. Did you spot my awful mistake? Do you know what it was? It was because um I thought, am I going to keep coughing? Okay, 2/3 equals 66. What is 1/3? Slow down, Olivia. 1/3 is 66 divided by 2, which is 33. 3/3, I multiply 33 by 3, which is 99. So the answer is 99. Looking at the next one here. So this one here is, oh yes, subtracting time. So Femi takes 2 hours and 53 minutes to cycle from London. Okay, here's London. To cycle from London all the way to Reading, and it takes him 2 hours and 53 minutes. If he arrived at 3:21, so 3:21 p.m., what time did he set off? So if we're going backwards, we're going to take 2 hours and 53 minutes from 3:21 p.m. If I take away 2 hours first, so let's say I'm going backwards, and if I just take away 2 hours, we're going to end up with 1:21 p.m. However, it's not 1:21 p.m. because I still have that 53 minutes to take away from 1:21 to get the time. I'm going to write it over here. So I have 1:21 p.m. subtract 53 minutes. Well, I'm going to subtract 21 minutes first to bring me to 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock is going to be 21 minutes from 53, which is 32. Now, what do I have to do? I have to take 32 minutes from 1 o'clock. Well, if I take 30 minutes, it's going to be 12:30. Then take the other 2 minutes, it's going to be 12:28. So my time is going to be 12:28. And do we have a 12:28 p.m. here? Yes, we do. And the last one for this video is 2/3 of a number. Okay, so again, this is might be a little bit tricky because of how it's worded. Let's investigate. 2/3 of a number is 3 more than 3/5 of the number. What's the number? Well, what would that look like written down? So again, I don't know the number. I'm going to call the number X. 2/3. So 2/3 of a number of X. Will I push X or will I push a box? I'll push X. Is 3 more. So that means this number is going to be 3 more than what? Than 3/5 of the number. What's the number? We don't know. It's this number here. It's X. So does that make sense? If I get 2/3 of a number and then I get 3/5 of the same number, my answer here is going to be 3 more. So what we do now is we're going to fill in these to see if we get the right answer. So 2/3 of 20. 2/3 of 20 is, well, I'm not going to do it because 2/3 of 20, I'm going to get a decimal or a fraction. And yeah, so I don't think it's going to be that. So, and I can also go back to it if I don't get the answer with these. Let's cross that off. 2/3 of 90. So 2/3 of 90 is going to be 3 into 90 is 30. 30 times 2 is 60. So my answer is 60. And then I have to get 3/5 of 90. So 5 into 90 goes once and 4 over 18. And 18 times 3 is going to be, let's see, 24, 54. So is 63 more than 54? It's not. It is 6 more. Let's get rid of that and have a look at the next option. The next option is 54. 2/3 of 54. Well, do you know what? I'm going to mark off 54 because in my head, I was thinking, yes, I can get 2/3 of 54. But when I go to get 3/5 of 54, if I divide 54 by 5, it's going to be a decimal or a fraction. So it's going to be work out very strangely. So I'll cross that off. Let's have a look at 60. So 2/3 of 60 and 3/5 of 60. So 2/3 of 60, 3 into 60 goes 20 times. 20 times 2 is 40. 3/5 of 60, 5 into 60 goes 12 times, and we've got 36. Is 43 more than 36? No, that is not an option. Now, what you could do is it has to be this. The answer has to be this. But let's say, well, we need to check. We need to check just in case we're doing it all wrong. But hopefully we were not. So I'm going to put in here 45. So 2/3 of 45 and 3/5 of 45. So 2/3 of 45, 3 into 45 goes 15 times. 15 times 2 is 30. 3/5 of 45, 5 into 45 goes 9 times, is 27. Look what we have. 30 is 3 more than 27. So the answer is E. Fantastic. So that's number 1 to 10 done on this sample mock paper. And I'm going to create another video to do the next maybe 10, and then another video to do the next 9 or 10. And you can see they'll get a little bit harder as we go further along, some of them in the paper.